Hi students, this is the second lecture. We have been studying the first chapter sets. In the last lecture, lecture 1, we studied up to subsets. So the types of sets under that: empty set, then singleton set, then the third one we studied was subset. Let me add a few things about subset. So this was the thing. Subset means a set B is subset of another set A if X belongs to B implies X belongs to A. So this is the definition actually. Meaning whenever an element is in B, it should be in A. So this is the meaning. Then from this definition, we actually we inferred actually two things. One is every set is a subset of itself. So A is a subset of A. This is the first one. So here there is no difficulty. For example, whenever X is in A, it is in A. So therefore, by definition, A is a subset of A, no problem. But when we take pi is a subset of A, one of my students in offline classes, she raised a question, sir, how can you say that pi is a subset of A using this definition? Because can I say X belongs to pi? Because pi does not contain any element you told. And now you say X belongs to pi implies X belongs to A. Therefore, pi is subset of A, if at all, if you want to follow this definition. So there is a doubt. Now, in order to clarify this doubt, what I have to do is, let us take when a set B is not a subset of A. First, let us discuss this. So, this symbol is not a subset of A. Let me take an example. Suppose you take A equal to 1, 2, 3 and B equal to 3. Suppose I take 2 and 3, no problem. So this is a subset. B is a subset of A, no problem. But what I do is, I will replace this by 2, 3, 4. Now the question is, whether B is subset of A? No, because of course 2 belongs to B, 2 belongs to A, 3 belongs to B, 3 belongs to A. But this 4 is in B, which is not in A, therefore it is against the definition. So this B is not a subset of A because of the element 4. 4 is in B and 4 is not in A. So the definition says every element here should be here. That is the condition. So definitely B is not a subset of A. Therefore, there are two things you have to understand. Whenever a set B is given, there are two possibilities. One is either B should be a subset of A or B should not be a subset of A. These are only two possibilities. So no other possibilities. Now let me take this one. Suppose under this condition, suppose pi is a subset of A. If this is not true, assume that it is not true, then what should happen is pi is not a subset of A. Now here it is very clear. If you don't accept this one, then what you have to do is you have to accept this. Now look here. If you say pi is a subset of A, what you should do is at least one element you should produce here which is not found here, which is not possible, because you cannot find any element here which is not here, because this does not contain any element by definition. Therefore, this is wrong. So this is correct. So this is the reason why pi is the subset of A. So with this, let me conclude the subset concept of subset. Now let us go to the next type of sets. So the next one is finite set. Finite set. So what do you mean by finite set? A set which contains finite number of elements, that is called finite set. It is very simple. I need not explain. For example, you see A equal to say 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., 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 100. So this is definitely a finite set. Number of examples you can give, but it is not required. Then the next one is infinite set. Infinite. So here also definition is very simple. If a set contains infinitely many elements, that set is called infinite set. For example, we have already studied set of naturals 1, then 2, then 3, etc., etc. So this is infinite set because there is no end here. Like this, if you take W, set of whole numbers, so 0, 1, 2, etc. So in mathematics, we have come across such infinite sets, several, not one. Similarly, next Z, set of integers, set of rationals, set of irrationals, then combining R. All these are infinite sets. And in geometry, I have seen you take any line segment, for example. This set contains infinitely many points here. Set of points on a line segment, it is infinite. Or if you take this board, set of points on the board, it is infinite. And if you take number line, so this number line contains infinitely many points. So this is once again infinite. Like this, from geometry, from algebra, from arithmetic, we can give a lot of examples for infinite set. But when it comes to our real life, sometimes students make mistake. Let me tell one or two examples. See, in one of my classes, a student gave this example. The set of hairs on my head, of course it's not my head, the student said, that is infinite. So I told it is not correct. Now think. The justification by the student is this. Because you cannot count the number of hairs on head, therefore it is infinite. That is the definition. Look here, why this example is wrong. The number may be very, very large, and it may not be possible for me to count the number of hairs, but still it is finite because it should be some number, big number, maybe very, very large number, but it is a number. So it is limited in that sense. So it is not infinite set. Then another student give this example. You see, you take one handful of sand. Now, the set of grains, set of particles, it is infinite. Once again, you are wrong because it may not be possible for you to count the number of grains in a handful of sand, but it is finite. Number may be very big. So don't have such a wrong notion where you take something very big number and then say it is infinite. No. See, the thing is, you should not give such confusing example. Instead of that, you take this type of example which are very safe. I think that clarifies the point. So let us proceed further. Finite, infinite. Then the next one is after finite and infinite, it is equal sets. So this is another concept. So let me take equal sets. So this is also very simple concept, therefore I need not explain much. Say two sets A and B, they are equal if same elements are there in A and the same elements are there in B. That means both sets have the same number of elements and same elements. Say A equal to 1, 2, 3 and B equal to 2, 3, 1. See, I have here changed the order and I told you in the first session, in set we can write the elements in any order. So here 1 is there, 1 is there, 2 is there, 2 is there, 3, 3. So these two sets are equal. These two sets are equal. Let me give another example. I will just change here only. Say here you take 1, 4, then 9, then 16. So 4 elements. Here I write 1 square, 2 square, then 3 square, 4 square. So these two sets are equal, meaning two sets are equal if they contain same elements. Here you can connect this with subsets. When two sets are equal, so what should happen is A should be subset of B and B should be subset of A. Logically, this is the proof. That means whenever you want to show that two sets are equal, we follow this method. A is subset of B. That means every element of X is in B, number 1. Then every element of B is A, which shows both are equal. So this is equal set. Then let us study, there is an interesting subset of real number that is called interval. So before going to introduce the concept of interval, let me first recall what we studied in our elementary and high school. We started with this n, natural number, 1, 2, 3. This is the first set. In fact, there is a statement by a great mathematician Kronecker, God gave us integers and rest is the work of man. My professor used to say, God gave us natural number and rest is the work of man. See, this is 1, 2, 3. Even 0, see, 0 is invented by Indian mathematicians, they say. So, natural number is 1, 2, 3. They have naturally occurred. Then we added 0, so it became 0, 1, 2, etc. We call it as whole number. This development, then we extended it to z, that is -2, then -1, 0, 1, 2, etc. Then the next one is q, this So how to write q, using set builder for, you have to write like this, x such that x equal to p by q. So what is p? So p belongs to z here. It can be both positive and negative, and q belongs to n. If you write, our problem is solved. Some people write q also belongs to z, then they write q not equal to 0. Instead of that, just you can write q belongs to n, because n does not contain 0. So this problem will not be there. So this is q. That means all integers. This also includes integers. See the relation. This is, by adding one element extra, we make this set. So this n is the subset of this. W is the subset of z, because we are adding minus, that is negative integers. This contains all these. See, don't think that p by q means always fractions. Need not be, because q can be 1. In that case, it can be 1 by 1, 1, 2 by 1, 2, like that. It can be negative also, because p is z. So this is the development. Then after this, what happens is, there is a set q dash which is containing all other elements which are not in this form. This also you have studied. They are called irrationals. So I will write here like this only, because I cannot write them in this form using set builder. Set of irrationals. So this is it. And when you combine these two, that means take all the numbers of this and all the numbers of this, this is called R, reals. And we have seen the entire set of real means it is both q and q dash. The moment I say q, all these things are also included. So this number line, this is called number line, is this is 0, then 1, and this side -1, etc. like this. So this represents number line. That's why you call it as number line. Meaning every element here, whether it is in q or q dash or in general R, represented by 1 point, and every point here is represented by 1 line. So these are, that means there is no gap. So all the points here on this line, they represent one number. Either it is real rational number or irrational number. So there is a thing. So it is once again an example of infinite set. Infinite set. Now what we are interested is, of course, these things are represented by say dot 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 here 1 2 3. But we can take one part line segment. You have studied line segment. For example, we can take one line segment from here, which should include the sometimes this is say A, this point is B, all the numbers between A and B, two cases, including A and including B, and sometimes excluding A and excluding, that is not A, including A and including B. So that is called interval. Interval. And this interval is a subset of R. Subset of R. So let us study them in detail. So I made this point clear. Interval means once again it is infinite set. It is a subset of R. Starting point is A, end point is B. Or imagine all the numbers between A and B here in this line segment. So that's once again infinite because it is, you cannot count them. It's in between this A and B. So it's very clear. But how to represent it using set notation? So there is a thing. So the concept is this. Let me first take say open interval. What do you mean by open interval? So there are two types actually. First one is open. Open interval means you take a number line. Let us say A is one point here. This point is A. This point is B. Now all the points between A and B, but except A and B. So that is denoted by A, comma B. That is denoted by A, comma B. This is called open. This is called open interval because the end point A and B are not included. So there is a meaning. So how to define this one actually? We can define like this. Let A is less than B, both are real numbers, and YB set of all numbers, all real numbers, such that A less than Y less than B. Then this set is called open interval. Or I can write like this. Symbol is A, comma B, common bracket. This equal to, I should write set of all Y using set builder form. Set of all Y. What are the two conditions? Y should be in R, any number, but condition for that Y is it lies between A and B. So this is the definition. You have to remember. Here condition is A less than Y less than B. The moment A less than Y less than B, this condition also you should remember. So whenever you write, for example, you see, I can write 2, 3 interval, open interval 2, 3, meaning all the numbers between 2 and 3. So we can represent that interval like this. This is 2, this is 3. So this is the open interval. Except 2 and 3, all the numbers here, that is open interval. So I can write using the set builder form like this. You can write Y or you can write X, anything. Say X such that X belongs to R. If you write Y here, write Y. If you write X, you write X. Such that A, in place of A, it is 2. So 2 less than X less than 3. So this is open interval. Of course, here you have to put comma. This is a thing. This is a subset of R. Therefore, we can also write 2, 3 is a subset of R. So this is open interval. And in representation of open interval using diagram, using number line. This is a method. See, one method is, if you take 2 here, if you take 3, you can just show this only, because we are using the same symbol here. You can use this. This means all the numbers x between 2 and 3, excluding 2 and 3. But in some textbook, they also use this symbol. So they write here one blank, say circle like this. The circle inside is blank, meaning 2 is not included, 3 is not included. That's the meaning. So this is about open interval. And another thing is, 2 is the lower end, 3 is the upper end. Sometimes it is also called lower limit and upper limit of the interval. So this is the thing. Now once you understand this one, what is closed interval, what is closed interval? This is the only difference. I will just change here so that it is easy. See, here we use the symbol square bracket, and here also same we can do square bracket. Now the concept is A is also included, B is also included. So here also we have to use the symbol A like this. Then here I have to use like this. Suppose I take the same example 2, 3, then I have to use the square bracket. So here I have to fill the circle. This indicates 2 is also included and 3 is also included. So here once again equality sign. So this is for closed interval. Closed interval. So there are two types of intervals, therefore. One is closed interval, another one is open interval. Let me sum up. Closed means endpoints are included. Open means endpoints are not included. So this is sufficient. Let me give one or two examples, because sometimes the question will be like this. Convert the interval into set form and convert the set form into interval form. So this is the thing. For example, if I write say 5, then 10, this means in set notation I have to write like this using set builder form. X such that, what is the first condition? X should be a real number. You can write this first or here also, it's okay. Then 5 less than x less than 10. So this is an example for open interval. Same way, if it is say 0 to 3, closed interval, I should write x such that x belongs to R. Then interval is closed, so I have to use 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. Sometimes students make a mistake. I have seen they write here sometimes n, sometimes z, sometimes q. Remember, if you write any other set, that is not interval. That is not interval. See, in set builder form and tabular form, I have already studied. Suppose a equal to, if I write x such that, this type of example I have already given, x belongs to n, and then you say 0 less than x less than 10. Then what I have to write, it is a finite set. Remember, it's a finite set. 0 is not there in the natural number. I have to take 1, 2, because here it is already closed, open interval. I have to take 1, 2, 3 up to 9. So it contains finite number of elements. Same way, if you take z also, if for example, if you take here -3, then say 2, once again, or even if you take closed interval like this, then -3, then -2, then -1, 0, 1, 2. Still it is finite. But if you take q, then it is infinite, but still it is not interval. It is not interval. So that is the thing. Now the question arises, suppose there is an interval, say, let me show by number line. Say this point is say 3, this point is 7. I want to include this 7, but I want to exclude this 3. Is it possible? Yes. So this is called semi-open or semi-closed interval, because one side it is open, one side it is closed. So there is another concept, semi open, or you can also write semi closed. Semi closed. And some authors write open closed. That means this side it is open, this side it is closed. Closed open if it is the other way. So that's also okay. But we use semi open interval and semi closed interval. Let me give an example. Say if I write say minus 5 to 5, but this side it is open, here it is closed. But how to write it in set builder form? This can be written as set of all elements x such that x belongs to R. I am stressing once again because this is very important. X belongs to R. Then what is the condition? Look here, here it is open. That means minus 5 is not included. Here it is closed. 5 is included. So minus 5 less than x less than or equal to 5. So this is the symbol. Same way I can also write say minus 2 then 4, let us say like this. So this is here it is closed, left side, that is the lower end, upper end it is open. So this we write x such that x belongs to R, then minus 2, then here I have to use equality sign, then x, then 4. So this is semi open and semi closed interval type. So first one is open, next closed, then mixed, semi open, semi closed. There are some more possibilities. Let us take for example, how do you write R as an interval? Can you write the entire set R using interval? Yes. See, this we should write. First you have to understand what are the elements in R? It is all elements. So we should write minus infinity to infinity. But here you should use only open interval because infinity is not a real number. We don't know what it is. So a large number, whatever way you go this side, still there is one more point. That represents one more number. So this is the symbol we use for R. And this can also be written in set builder form. See, the moment you can write it as interval, you should be able to write it as set builder form also. So you should write x such that x belongs to R. Sometimes if you write this itself is correct. But once you know that it is interval, you can write minus infinity less than x less than infinity. So this is the symbol minus infinity. Similarly, if you take x less than 10 for example, so how to write this as interval? If you have confusion, first you should draw a diagram. X less than 10 means mark the point 10 and it is less than, strictly less than, all the values less than 10. So this is 10. That means I need these points. So this can be written as in interval form minus infinity to 10. Here also it is open. How to write using set builder form? This can be written as x such that x belongs to R and then minus infinity less than x less than 10. So this is the thing. I can also write what is x less than or equal to. In this case, I should just change this one. This side it is closed. So here I have to include this. Same way, you can also write x more than 3. For example, here what it is, x is more. See, whenever you have this type of confusion, if you don't know how to write, just draw the number line. Mark that point 3. X should be more than 3 means this side. This side. Therefore, what I have to write is starting point is 3. So it is 3 here. Then this side no end. No end means infinity. So this equal to x such that x belongs to R. Then I have to start with 3. 3 less than x less than infinity. One more option for us is if you include this one, then you have to include here this one. But every time infinity should be always written with open bracket. That is the thing you have to remember. So let me conclude now. So what we have studied so far is empty set, singleton set, then subset, then finite, infinite, and the last one is subset of reals as interval. There are two types mainly, open interval and closed interval. Then you can mix them, semi-open or semi-closed interval, and every such interval given can be written using set builder form. So if you have subscribed my channel, it is well and good. Otherwise, please subscribe and share with your friends. So you are doing me a favor. So thank you. In the next session, we shall continue our journey with some more types of sets. Thank you.